Franchisor members of the Franchise Association of New Zealand help you understand their respective franchise opportunities by providing copies of a disclosure document. Members are required to provide prospective franchisees with a disclosure document at least 14 days prior to signing a franchise. The disclosure document is a highly valuable document to the prospective franchisee because it requires detailed information covering many areas important to your decision. Furthermore, the disclosure document makes certain comparisons easy because most will follow a similar format. The following list provides examples of the information required to be included within a disclosure document. Some areas are voluntary, meaning a franchisor may or may not choose to provide such information within the document. Disclosure document coverage. The areas covered include franchisor details, a name, registered office and physical business address of the franchisor, franchisor background and experience, the names, role, qualifications and job descriptions of key franchisor directors and executives, franchisor and key people experience covering time operating the business and franchise as well as operating other franchises, franchisor viability, a franchisor declaration of viability for the franchisor, including accompanying information, legal issues, details covering a wide range of areas within the last 5 years, such as any bankruptcies, receiverships, liquidations, placements in administration, criminal, civil or administrative proceedings by a statutory public agency which are current or have occurred or for which judgment has been entered against the franchisor and any related entities or any of its directors, executives, officers or principals. An outline of the franchise, a history of the franchise system, trademark and logos, steps taken to protect these, and details of any threatened or pending litigation in relation to these, payments to be made by the franchisee to the franchisor, any amount refundable if the franchise agreement is terminated, terms and conditions for purchase of goods from the franchisor, any restrictions like territories imposed on the franchisee in relation to the franchise, the basis of the franchisor's involvement and approval for site selection, terms and conditions relating to termination, renewal, goodwill and assignment of the franchise, and the main obligations of the franchisor. Franchise establishment costs, a tabulated list of components making up the franchise purchase, covering, for example, the franchise fee, stock, fixtures and fittings, working capital, and so on, with estimated individual costs and total to reflect the full outlay. A summary of those items which could be leased and estimated costs involved. Minimum franchisee investment requirements, any financial requirements by the franchisor of the franchisee, for example, a specific amount of non-borrowed capital towards the franchise purchase price, outlets, ownership and disputation, the number of existing franchises, the number of outlets and details of franchisor-owned outlets, existing franchisee contact details, the number of franchises terminated or not renewed over the past 2 years, details of any current unresolved litigation with any existing or formal franchisees, financial projections. While optional, actual or projected outlet examples may be included, and where such information is provided, it should be accompanied by appropriate qualifications with details as to the assumptions they are based on and appropriate warnings that they are not guarantees. And finally, territory history, details of previous trading and franchise ownership history within the territory. When will I receive a disclosure document? As you'll know by now, not all franchisors will provide a disclosure document. Only Franchise Association of New Zealand members are required to provide a disclosure document. There are 2 key considerations relating to when you will receive a disclosure document. First, are member requirements. Franchisor members of the association are required to provide prospective franchisees with a disclosure document at least 14 days prior to signing a franchise agreement, or, if preceded by the signing of a preliminary agreement, 14 days before the prospective franchisee becomes bound by that preliminary agreement to proceed. The second is franchisor recruitment processes. Franchisors have different recruitment processes, and accordingly, some franchisors may provide a disclosure document early in the recruitment process, i.e. soon after an initial inquiry. By contrast, many franchisors will only provide a disclosure document to prospective franchisees who meet certain base criteria, the latter of which may be determined from a completed application form and background statement and an initial interview.